He waited like that for half an hour. Huang Jifa didn't know how much longer he would have to wait. He vaguely heard sound from inside the ward, but the soundproofing was too good to hear clearly. He stepped forward with an ingratiating smile and asked old Lu, "Has young Master Yin woken up?" Look, he was hinting if old Lu could help announce his arrival. Old Lu's face remained neutral. "No, keep waiting. Or, if Mr. Huang is in a hurry, we can arrange for another time." No, I have time, Huang Jifa quickly said. He meekly went back to waiting. Inside the ward, it was sensuous and lingering. Yun Yin straddled Jiang Yin, her body soft as a snake, her skin flushed pink-white from intense pleasure. Sweat, carrying her fragrance, seduced the man. The man's large hands clutched her slender waist, the muscles on his strong arms bulging as he watched her alluring state with fascination. The drug was potent. After a whole night, he thought he could satisfy her, as she had barely slept, only falling asleep from exhaustion when dawn broke. She had slept for less than 9 hours when she again wound around him like water. Jiang Yinyan's desire was easily aroused. Like a wolf and a tiger, he lightly bit her lip, his voice hoarse and low. "You little demon." Her entire body bore his marks. This extreme possessiveness made Jiang Yinyan's blood boil. He knew her body was inherently extremely sensitive, and now, due to the drug's effects, she had already climaxed several times in just this short half hour. When she trembled again and collapsed onto him, he timely kissed her lips, swallowing her soft moans as she was sent to the clouds. She softened even more. Jiang Yinyan wished he could knead her into his body. He then rolled over, pressing her down, turning passive into active, eliciting gasps of surprise from her. Outside the ward, Huang Jifa vaguely heard a woman's cries. He was startled. He was not unfamiliar with that kind of sound. If he hadn't misheard, it should be. Huang Jifa looked up at the ward door, half believing, half doubting. Could he have misheard? Young Master Yin was hospitalized. Wasn't he in poor health? Did he still have the energy to do that sort of thing? And in the hospital? Moreover, Huang Jifa hesitated. The outside world said that this crown prince of the capital never indulged in women, was cold-hearted and aloof, and had never been rumored to be involved with any woman, remaining pure and devoid of desire like a Buddhist ascetic. The only thing that came as a great surprise was his public appearance with Miss Mora at the jewelry appraisal conference 2 days ago. Everyone said that young Master Yin wasn't truly indifferent to women. He was merely devoted to Miss Mora alone. Could it be? Huang Jifa considered it in every way, but no matter how he thought about it, he felt he hadn't misheard. He cautiously asked old Lu, "Is Miss Mora in there?" Old Lu maintained his poker face, showing no hint of anything. He merely replied coldly, "Don't ask what you shouldn't ask." Huang Jifa dared not easily offend someone close to Jiang Yinyan. If he really angered him, he wouldn't even know how he died, so he quickly shut up. This continued until noon, and Huang Jifa was getting restless. During this time, old Lu went to eat. Before leaving, he asked Huang Jifa, "Mr. Huang, would you like to get something to eat?" Huang Jifa, to show his sincerity, said he wasn't hungry and insisted on waiting. Old Lu didn't force him. He temporarily called over a corridor security guard and instructed him not to let anyone disturb young Master Yin. Huang Jifa quickly said to old Lu, "It's already noon. Shouldn't young Master Yin eat something? Would you like to ask what young Master Yin likes to eat? I'll personally buy it for him." How could old Lu not understand his intentions? He said blandly, "Young Master Yin will call me if he's hungry. Mr. Huang needn't worry." Then he asked, "Mr. Huang, are you sure you still want to wait?" I'll wait. I don't have anything important to do. Visiting young Master Yin is the most important thing today." Old Lu hummed, said nothing more, and left. The entire afternoon was also spent waiting. Huang Jifa was almost questioning life itself from waiting so long, because during this time, he could always vaguely hear a woman's moans now and then. Although they weren't very obvious or exaggerated, any man would be sensitive to such sounds. He chuckled dryly and said to old Lu, "Young Master Yan's stamina, quite impressive." It was actually a test. However, old Lu didn't humor him in the slightest, treating him as if he didn't exist. It wasn't until dusk that old Lu's phone rang. He answered it respectfully, "Young Master Yin." Huang Jifa, startled, stood up and stepped forward, anxiously looking at old Lu. At this distance, Huang Jifa could vaguely hear the voice from the other end of the phone. He couldn't make out what was specifically said, but it sounded lazy, magnetic, and low. Huang Jifa was even more certain. The typical voice of a man after being sated. After the other end finished giving instructions, old Lu said he understood, then informed, "Young Master Yin said he is still busy and fears he won't have time to see you today. Mr. Huang can come tomorrow." Huang Jifa let out an tomorrow. "Yes." Old Lu spoke in a calm, flat tone. "Mr. Huang can't wait here all night, can he?" Young master, Yin will be even busier tonight. These words made Huang Jifa's imagination run wild. Soon, an orderly pushed a meal cart over, but only to the ward door. Old Liu first conducted a routine inspection, opening the lids of the dishes one by one to examine them. Huang Jifa watched carefully from the side. They were all full meals, perfect in color, aroma, and taste, so exquisite it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say they were from a Michelin chef. He also saw post-dinner desserts and cake. These should be for a girl. Indeed, Huang Jifa thought to himself, there really is a woman in the room. He made me wait here all day like a fool, while he, young Master Yin, spent the entire day messing around with a woman in the ward. What never indulged in women? Bah! Mr. Huang, aren't you leaving? Old Liu asked, seeing him still standing there, bewildered. Huang Jifa snapped back to reality and nodded repeatedly. All right, then I'll come tomorrow. I won't disturb young Master Yin. Just as he was about to leave, old Liu called out to him and reminded him, Mr. Huang, don't come too early tomorrow. Come after lunch, otherwise, you'll have to wait all morning again. Huang Jifa's legs almost gave out, and he felt incredibly envious. How great it would be if he had that kind of stamina. Yunyan was entirely engulfed in a frenzy of pleasure. She didn't know how she had endured it, only that the more Jiang Yinyan gave her, the more she wanted. Like someone who had been hungry for a long time, she was insatiably greedy. It wasn't until the latter half of the night that Yunyan finally fell into a deep sleep again. In a daze, she felt the man's lips kissing her. Her consciousness grew hazy, and she whispered, No more, I'm so tired. She was too tired. Even with her eyes closed, she felt the world spinning, like she had been drinking. She vaguely heard the man's low chuckle. Sleep. Then she lost consciousness. But to say she slept deeply wasn't entirely accurate. Yunyan saw Yin in a fog, a grown-up Yin. He had a commanding height, the kind who looked stylish dressed and muscular undressed. As long as he was there, she felt extremely safe. But also because of his outstanding appearance, even wearing sunglasses, he would attract many gazes just by standing there. So, she generally didn't like shopping. When she did, she would always become the center of attention. The women's gazes would mostly fall on him first, and then on her, as if assessing what virtue or ability she had to have such an outstanding man following her closely. She told Yin, Can I go shopping by myself in the future? Yin looked down at her. Why? Because you're too handsome. Everyone's eyes gather around. And then I'm not safe, am I? She offered a specious argument. Yin didn't smile, but his tone was firm. As long as I'm here, Miss will not be in danger. All right. The negotiation failed. Clearly, Yin was impervious to persuasion. No matter how unwilling she was, he continued to follow her, as always, letting the glances of those around them come and go. She no longer liked shopping. Yin told her, If Miss doesn't like other people's gazes, I can clear everyone out of the mall first. That would be too boring. Yunyan had friends who did this, for a piece of clothing or a bag. Their outings were like an emperor going on a campaign, not to mention having to clear the store they were going to in advance. It was too exaggerated and pretentious. She didn't want that. She didn't want to be criticized. Later, she also came to terms with it. Let them look, she thought. What could she do when her personal bodyguard was so handsome? Having Yin follow her was actually quite good. After an accident during one of her outings, Yin didn't stay so far from her. So whether she was trying on clothes or shoes, she would ask Yin to accompany her into the store and then help her decide. When she tried on clothes, he would stand with his hands clasped behind his back in the store, his gaze always fixed on the direction of the changing room. When she tried on shoes, he would gently hold her arm, reminding her to be careful, and then squat down to help her change shoes. The surrounding sales staff looked on with envy. Yunyan didn't have a habit of carrying money. Ever since she had Yin, he was responsible for all her expenses when going out. So when it was time to pay, Yin would handle it, and the shop assistants would always say, Your boyfriend is so considerate. Yunyan didn't explain. The shop's familiar with her new Yin was her bodyguard. There was no need to explain to strangers she met by chance. But several times, Yunyan discovered that Yin wasn't using the card her father gave him, but his own. Every time she asked, Yin would always say, I didn't notice, it's fine. I'll pay attention next time. But many times he still didn't pay attention. Yin would give him the money back, but he wouldn't take it, telling her, I eat and live at the Yu family home. I don't spend much money. Miss should keep more money in her hands. What for? Yunyan felt that from childhood to adulthood, the one thing she never lacked was money. She would still secretly give the money back to Yin, but then he would turn around and spend it on her again. When Yunyan opened her eyes, she was thinking, if only she had listened to Yin back then and kept more money. The light from outside reflected on the curtains, and the indoor light was dim and warm, yet the air was filled with a strong scent of hormones. Men's and women's clothes were scattered under the bed, beside the sofa. Yunyan moved slightly. Her whole body ached as if she was falling apart, especially her lower abdomen. A solid chest pressed against her from behind, and the man's hand naturally reached her chest, his thin lips moving slowly along her neck. Awake! The man's voice seemed to hide hooks, fatally deep and sexy. Yunyin was completely awake this time. She had finally gotten a good night's sleep after the latter half of yesterday night, and now, opening her eyes, her mind was blank for a moment. But when the man's hand covered her, those forbidden and exciting scenes all came back to her mind, frame by frame. She gasped, turning her head to look at him. She vaguely remembered him saying, "You're the one who asked me to help you. Don't regret it." She knew she would regret it. Now she wondered if the drug's effects had worn off. Her entire body ached. Clearly, she was the one who had been affected, but he was full of life and vigor, tireless. An uninformed person would think he was the one drugged. Yunyin felt embarrassed, turning her head to bury her face in the quilt. Behind her, Jiang Yinyin chuckled low, his chin lightly resting on her shoulder. Have the drug's effects worn off? No way. What do you mean? Yunyin's emotions were incredibly complex. She turned her head to glare at him. Even that simple action of turning her head was quite difficult for her now. Jiang Yinyin propped himself up on his arm, supporting his head, and looked down at her. His other large hand still greedily roamed under the covers. It said to be a new drug, strong potency and long-lasting effect. Jiang Yinyin lowered his gaze, his voice low. It's nothing special, really. Yunyin was astonished. So, you knew all along? Jiang Yinyin enjoyed the softness under his fingertips, and his eyes gradually darkened again. He said, it wasn't hard to find out. That kid Jiang Zhe didn't dare to hide things. A slight scare made him tell the truth. Then why didn't you tell me at first? Yunyin's heart felt incredibly awkward. Yunyin never in her wildest dreams imagined such a melodramatic thing would happen to her, nor that Jiang Zhe would resort to such despicable means. It wasn't that she hadn't heard of such things. Some young masters in high society enjoyed playing these games, secretly using such substances on young women. She'd heard a socialite friend mention before that a certain young master from a listed group had peculiar tastes, enjoying drugging young women, and had thus ruined quite a few girls. At the time, she couldn't understand it, telling her friend, with his conditions, what kind of girl couldn't he find? There are plenty who'd throw themselves at him. Why stoop to drugging and coercion? Her friend curled her lip and said, you know how our circle is. People with too much money are empty, lonely, and cold. They just seek thrills. Yunyin thought of herself as the victim, and a surge of resentment welled up inside her. The man behind her seemed to sense her tension, chuckling softly. Resentful? But there's nothing you can do. You can't deal with Jiang Zhe, and you have no evidence to prove he drugged you. She turned around, looking at Jiang Yinyin. He already admitted it himself. So what? Jiang Yinyin looked at her amusedly. Yunyin was momentarily speechless by the question. Yeah, so what? Even if Jiang Zhe admitted it in front of Jiang Yinyin, could Jiang Zhe turn himself in? Or could Jiang Yinyin sacrifice familial ties to send his own nephew to jail? Given the Jiang family's power, even if Jiang Zhe did go to jail, it would probably just be a formality, right? In the end, it would still be the Yu family who suffered. Her eyes gradually dimmed. She lowered her gaze, suppressing the immense sorrow in her heart. The decline of her family was the original sin. If her father were still alive, if the Yu family's prestige still remained, Jiang Zhe, no matter how arrogant, wouldn't dare use such despicable tactics against her. Put those thoughts away. Jiang Yinyin gazed at her, his tone flat. Yinyin looked up, meeting his clear gaze. She gritted her teeth. So what if I have thoughts? Your Jiang family is all-powerful. I know I can't fight you. But if I can't provoke Jiang Zhe, can't I at least avoid him? Why does he get to trample on me like this? Faced with her indignation, Jiang Yinyin actually smiled. He didn't get a chance to trample on you. You've been in my bed for the past 2 nights. He leaned closer, his large hand gently cupping the back of her neck. Or rather, I served miss you for 2 nights. The man's breath was hot, scalding her nose. And beneath the covers, they were bare. As he drew close, she clearly felt his lust reawaken, arrogant and vigorous. Yinyin pushed him away, wanting to get out of bed, but moving even slightly caused excruciating pain. Jiang Yinyin, taking his time, wrapped an arm around her, pulling her back into his embrace, and pressed his thin lips against hers. His voice was lazy and deep, now laced with a seductive sensuality due to desire. Shouldn't miss you actively serve me this once? This time, Yunyin used all her strength to push him away, her arms aching from the stretch. Jiang Yinyin leaned back against the headboard, laughing aloud, but then winced as it aggravated his wound, letting out a sharp hiss of pain. Yunyin, are you being ungrateful? He asked, looking at her. Yunyin sat up, pulling the quilt around herself, but she pulled too far, also uncovering his side. The man's entire body was laid bare before her eyes. Consequently, she caught sight of his vigorous arousal. It was quite startling. Yunyan's heart fluttered. She quickly pulled a corner of the quilt over him, but trying to conceal it only made it worse. It was impossible not to notice that prominent mound. You still have injuries, Yunyan stammered, feeling her throat dry. The drug effect must have worn off, right? Yes, it must have. She was completely sober now. Jiang Yunyan leaned back lazily, his muscular chest showing redness from their entanglement, and there were scratches on his broad shoulders, also left by her. Just such a seductive body, simply leaning there invited fantasies. He chuckled. Even with injuries, it didn't stop me from satisfying you, did it? You don't say that. Hearing his words made Yunyan feel as if weeds were growing in her heart. Jiang Yunyan stifled a laugh. People should have a conscience, right? Your drug wore off, and you're comfortable. What about me? Yunyan was speechless, glaring at him. Didn't you enjoy it? She said it as if she had accomplished the whole thing by herself. Jiang Yunyan feigned seriousness. I did enjoy it, but it wasn't enough. You saw it yourself. He gestured downwards with his eyes. Yunyan's heart pounded like a drum. In her fragmented memories, the past 2 nights were filled with endless, intimate moments between her and Jiang Yunyan. She was quite impressed with herself for enduring these 2 nights. It was absolutely related to the drug. If it weren't for the drug, she could hardly imagine how she would have endured it. She spoke with difficulty. I think people shouldn't overindulge just because they're young and healthy. When you get old, all sorts of problems catch up. Jiang Yunyan listened to her twisted logic, stifling a laugh. Being young and healthy isn't capital for enjoyment? Then when should one enjoy? Yunyan felt like she had dug a hole and jumped into it herself. What I mean is, come here. Jiang Yunyan reached out a hand to her. Yunyan stared at the large hand before her, well-defined, slender, and strong. She grew nervous. Young Master Yin, I really, truly can't anymore. I don't like to force people. Come here. Jiang Yunyan commanded softly again. Yunyan's breathing quickened, but she still gave him her hand. He took it and gently pulled her, and she collapsed into his embrace. She tried her best to avoid his wounds, but precisely because they were so close, the scent of the man's skin made her heart flutter, and her breathing gradually became more rapid, especially her soft lower abdomen, which was painfully pressed against his firm strength. Jiang Yunyan's hand explored downwards, the desire in his eyes unconcealed. He asked with a half-smile, has the drug really worn off? It's worn off, young Master Yin. I'll verify myself. Jiang Yunyan wrapped an arm around her waist, lifted her slightly, and pressed his thin lips against her cheek, inhaling her scent. I need to ensure the drug's effect has truly passed. With that, he kissed her lips. Huang Jifa was back, quite obedient. He came only after lunch, but as soon as he reached the ward door, he saw the dining cart, with all the food still covered. Huang Jifa's mind was churning, but he dared not show it, carefully asking old Lu, young Master Yin, isn't awake yet? Lunch hadn't even been eaten. Old Lu merely grunted faintly and gestured with his chin towards the window. Mr. Huang, just wait there. Young Master Yin will eat first, even if he has a visitor. Eat first. Those 3 words once again set Huang Jifa's imagination racing. He thought, youth is truly wonderful. But wonderful as it was his time being wasted. The crucial question was, when would young Master Yin eat lunch? Perhaps heaven had some mercy, for after Huang Jifa waited for almost another hour, he finally saw old Lu push the dining cart inside. He felt he had seen the light of victory. After old Lu came out and saw Huang Jifa standing there waiting, he said, young Master Yin knows you're here. Please wait a moment. As soon as Huang Jifa heard, wait a moment, his heart brightened. It seemed he would finally get to meet him today. This time he wasn't kept waiting indefinitely. Huang Jifa watched eagerly as the dining cart was pushed out, and about 10 minutes later, old Lu led Huang Jifa into the ward. Huang Jifa, though not good-looking, had a successful career that elevated him. Even if he were a pig, he'd be gold-plated. So, he wasn't short of women and was quite experienced in matters of love and intimacy. As soon as he entered, his suspicions were confirmed. The entire ward was quite spacious, with clearly defined functional areas like a bathroom, kitchen, reception area, and bedroom. The bedroom door was tightly shut. Although the reception area had been aired out, a faint feminine scent was still discernible in the room, and wisps of sexual tension lingered in the air. Jiang Yunyan was wearing loungewear, not looking at all like a hospitalized patient. His hair was slightly dry, and his neck was covered by the collar of his loungewear, but a careful look would reveal scratches. They were from a woman's fingernails. Huang Jifa discreetly glanced towards the bedroom. Someone must be inside. He thought this young Master Yin really plays wild, so exciting even in a hospital. When his gaze returned, it met Jiang Yunyan's flat, indifferent eyes, startling Huang Jifa. He quickly plastered on a smile and stepped forward. How's your health, young Master Yin? I've long heard your esteemed name and finally get to meet you in person today. Huang Jifa extended both hands, brimming with enthusiasm. Jiang Yinyan didn't reach out to shake his hand, merely gestured with a raised hand. Sit. Huang Jifa wasn't embarrassed, nodding repeatedly as he sat down on the sofa. I heard Mr. Huang came yesterday, Jiang Yinyan said, leaning back lazily. He looked comfortable in body and mind, as if his wounds were healing quickly. Huang Jifa uttered a couple of ice and chuckled. Yes, yes, I waited all day for young Master Yin. It was my fault for not choosing the right time to come. Jiang Yinyan lifted an eyelid, giving him a fleeting glance. Huang Jifa was quite intimidated by Jiang Yinyan's gaze. He had heard from those who dealt with Jiang Yinyan that the man commanded respect without anger. His eyes alone were fiercely sharp. A single look from him made you feel as if he could see through your every thought. Today, Huang Jifa truly experienced it. He just hadn't expected Jiang Yinyan himself to look so young. His age was a mystery to the outside world, perhaps because no one dared to truly dig into his affairs, so there was very little personal information available. Huang Jifa had always assumed that as Jiang Zhe's uncle, and Jiang Zhe being in his late 20s, Jiang Yinyan must be in his 40s at least. But by his estimation, Jiang Yinyan was probably under 30, perhaps just looking very young. Is there something on my face? Jiang Yinyan asked coolly. Huang Jifa started, realizing he had been staring for too long, and quickly tried to smooth things over. It's just that young Master Yin is too handsome. I've always heard people say he has good looks and a divine face. Seeing you today, it's truly so. Let's get to business. Jiang Yinyan ignored the flattery, his tone flat. Mr. Huang, you didn't come today just to make my acquaintance, did you? He reached for the cigarette case on the coffee table. Seeing this, Huang Jifa quickly got up, took the cigarette case, pulled out a cigarette, and offered it to Jiang Yinyan. Young Master Yin is a straightforward man, so since you asked, I won't beat around the bush. I heard that young Master Yin has a piece of land up for tender. You see, I wonder if I might have the honor of sharing a piece of the pie with you. Jiang Yinyan took the cigarette and put it in his mouth. Huang Jifa immediately offered a light. Jiang Yinyan thought for a moment, then took the cigarette in his hand and pushed Huang Jifa's hand away. If I recall correctly, Mr. Huang's main operations are in the Jiangnan area, right? Yes, young Master Yin, you have a good memory. My main operations are indeed in Jiangnan, but now I want to expand into the North China area. So isn't that equivalent to entering young Master Yan's territory? Huang Jifa chuckled nervously. Then I absolutely must come to pay my respects to young Master Yin. Jiang Yinyan's smile didn't reach his eyes. He toyed with the cigarette between his slender fingers, showing no sign of lighting it. So, Mr. Huang is presenting a worship card? Quite direct. Huang Jifa Aioed twice. I'm just a small fry. I'm embarrassed to talk about a worship card. Young Master Yin, to be honest, I didn't even expect to meet you in person. As he spoke, he gently placed the small safe he carried onto the coffee table, smiling apologetically. Being able to meet young Master Yin today is a blessing I, Huang, have cultivated. You see, this small meeting gift is merely a token of my regard. I hope young Master Yin won't disdain it. Jiang Yinyan raised an eyebrow slightly. Seeing this, Huang Jifa quickly opened the safe. But he didn't open it completely, just enough for the contents to be visible. It was gold bars filling the safe. Young Master Yin, you are a refined person, and I am merely a vulgar one. So please don't laugh at this small token of introduction. Huang Jifa felt that now that the gift was presented, he had more confidence in his words. The smile at the corner of Jiang Yinyan's mouth widened. Seeing this, Huang Jifa thought, this is settled. Unexpectedly, Jiang Yinyan slowly asked, Mr. Huang, do you think I lack these things? Hearing this, Huang Jifa's scalp tingled, and his heart trembled. He immediately stood up and said, No, young Master Yin, I didn't mean that. This is truly just a small token of my regard. You see, I came to visit you in the hospital. One always brings flowers or a fruit basket when visiting a patient, but I'm a crude man and don't know how to choose those, so I could only bring these small items to catch your eye. Jiang Yinyan said unhurriedly, No need to be so nervous. Sit down and talk. AI. How could Huang Jifa not be nervous? One moment he was smiling, the next he could turn hostile. Who didn't know that the crown prince of the capital was a living ancestor whom one could not afford to offend? Take the things back. I don't have a habit of accepting gifts, Jiang Yinyan said flatly. Come another day and just bring me a fruit basket. It was really strange. He suddenly remembered Yinyan bringing him a fruit basket, which made him want to laugh and cry at the same time. Huang Jifa was stunned for a moment, but then immediately caught the key point in the words. Next time, his eyes lit up at once, and he nodded repeatedly. Good. As for the tinder you mentioned, Jiang Yinyan feigned contemplation. Huang Jifa's heart was once again lodged in his throat. Jiang Ninian leaned back on the sofa with a sigh. To be honest, Mr. Huang, this matter isn't progressing very smoothly. One step is stuck, preventing the project from moving forward. Huang Jifa was momentarily bewildered, but then quickly became enthusiastic. Is there anywhere young master Yin needs a hand? Tell me. I might not be able to offer substantial help, but I'll go through fire and water to do whatever I can. It's not a major issue, but it's a bit difficult for me. The person in charge of the approval had a past conflict with me, a personal grudge, so the tides have turned. Huang Jifa understood. That's easy then. Just find an intermediary to help smooth things over. How about this, young Master Yin? It's inconvenient for you to show your face, so I'll handle it for you. Just tell me who you want as an intermediary. Jiang Yinyin looked thoughtful. There is a key person, and it really is inconvenient for me to show my face. Huang Jifa slapped his thigh. Tell me. Yunyin. Jiang Yinyin looked at him, enunciating each word. The daughter of the Yu family. Huang Jifa was stunned for a long time this time, then let out an ah. Jiang Yinyin said calmly. Mr. Huang, you don't know the Yu family's daughter? Impossible, right? Yunyin, daughter of Yue Yuan, the wealthiest man in Jiangnan, is famous not just in Jiangnan, but across the entire country, isn't she? Huang Jifa nodded repeatedly. Yes, 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 secretly wiping the sweat from his forehead. He thought, how could it be such a coincidence? I wonder about Miss Yu. Huang Jifa carefully chose his words. How did she become a key figure? Of course he knew Yunyan. Her brother, Yuan Zhou, had been contacting him these past 2 times, and he had been stringing the Yu family along. To be honest, he had a personal agenda concerning Yunyan. She was too beautiful, especially her figure. Just looking at her made his heart race. He had been thinking of dragging Yuan Zhou along a bit longer, waiting for the right moment to deal with that Yu family daughter. They were already at the end of their rope. Why pretend to be virtuous? And he had also heard that the Yu family daughter was notoriously promiscuous in their circle. How many rich young masters had experienced her charms? He wouldn't be the only one. But how did she become a key figure? Jiang Yinyin said, I heard Miss Yu and that approver were classmates. They had a good relationship in school and were quite close. With that connection, it's always easier to talk. Huang Jifa suddenly understood and immediately said, That's easy then, young Master Yin. You might not know this, but the Yu family is currently begging me for a favor. Getting Miss Yu to be the intermediary. Isn't that just a matter of a word? Jiang Yinyin looked at him, his gaze slowly turning cold and deep. Huang Jifa shivered again. Had he said something wrong? My difficulty is that Miss Yu is not an easy person to talk to. Jiang Yinyin's gaze returned to its indifferent state, making Huang Jifa mistakenly think he had misread it. The Yu family is always intended to call off the engagement, and their relationship with the Jiang family is currently a bit awkward. She doesn't owe the Jiang family any favors, let alone act as a peacemaker for them. Jiang Yinyin's tone sounded helpless. Miss Yu cannot be put in a difficult position. She's not a girl who will comply simply if you offer her benefits. Is that so? If you want her to step forward, she has to do it willingly, Jiang Yinyin said, hitting the nail on the head. If you threaten her with project cooperation, and then she creates obstacles for my project, Mr. Huang, what profit or loss would that be? No one will have an easy time then. The words hit home, and cold sweat broke out on Huang Jifa's back. He repeatedly said, Yes, 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 I thought too superficially. He had originally thought he could threaten her with a factory business at worst. If she didn't help young Master Yin, she wouldn't get the factory. But looking at it now, that truly wouldn't work. She couldn't be threatened. She had to be treated like an ancestor. Jiang Yinyin dropped a bombshell, leaving Huang Jifa to slowly digest it. After a long while, Huang Jifa sighed. In Beishir, oh no, let's not just say Beishir. Wherever young Master Yin goes, he's a VIP. Who would dare not give you, young Master Yin face? That official handling the approval must have a lot of guts, daring to hold up young Master Yan's project. Huang Jifa was an old fox himself. Even though he was facing Jiang Yinyin, he spoke with 3 parts of his mind on alert. Jiang Yinyin's eyes were calm. A new official takes office, with no vested interests, past or present. A clean person like that naturally won't easily take sides. Upon hearing this, Huang Jifa suddenly understood. No wonder. He had been wondering what project, with the Jiang family's power, could possibly be stalled. So it was a newcomer, and indeed, it wouldn't be convenient to act rashly before understanding the full situation. Such a person, can the Yu family's young lady persuade him? Having a personal connection is always better than hardball PR, Jiang Yinyin said. That was true. Huang Jifa nodded in agreement. It's all right, this matter, to be frank, is a Jiang family affair. No need to trouble President Huang with it. Hearing this, Huang Jifa quickly declared, No, no, no. Young Master Yan's business is my Huang Jifa's business. How about this? Isn't that Yu family young lady hard to deal with? I'll handle it. I guarantee young Master Yin will be satisfied. Jiang Yinyan looked at him, narrowing his eyes slightly. You handle her? For some reason, Huang Jifa felt a chill run through him, a jolt, and he hastily explained, Oh dear, a slip of the tongue, a slip of the tongue. How could I dare handle anyone related to the Jiang family? My meaning is, I'll be responsible for persuading Miss Yu to step forward and help. At worst, I'll beg her, worship her like an ancestor. Wouldn't that work? Jiang Yinyan sneered. President Huang is so confident. You, sir, being busy with important affairs, might not know, but our family actually had close cooperation with the Yu family before. My wife also has a good relationship with Mrs. Yu, Huang Jifa said with a smile. Now, our two families are about to discuss cooperation again, so out of the courtesy of partnership, the Yu family's young lady can surely grant us some favor, right? Jiang Yinyan feigned sudden realization. So, President Huang has this connection with the Yu family. Huang Jifa nodded repeatedly. Jiang Yinyan smiled, then sighed. That Yu family's young lady is quite difficult to deal with. Huang Jifa thumped his chest. Leave it to me. Yet his heart hesitated at Jiang Yinyan's phrase, quite difficult to deal with. On the surface, it seemed to be about the project, but he always detected a hint of a deeper meaning. It had to be said, this Yu family's young lady was truly beautiful, both pure and seductive, a rare combination in a woman. A beautiful maiden is a gentleman's good match. Judging by Yun Yin's looks and figure, even the most ascetic man would be stirred. So it was only natural for this young master from the capital to take an interest in her. Yes, he was engaged to the Jiang family, but hadn't married yet. Had he? A man with something in his bowl still can't help eyeing what's in the pot. Thinking this, Huang Jifa wanted to confirm, but he certainly wouldn't dare ask directly. So he spoke in veiled allusions. I wonder what impression young Master Yin has of the Yu family's young lady? Seeing Jiang Yinyan glance at him, he quickly explained, I, to some extent, also understand that Yu family young lady. I was thinking if you haven't had any contact with her, I could tell you about her. Know yourself and your enemy, and you'll win every battle, right? How could Jiang Yinyan not see through Huang Jifa's little schemes? He raised a corner of his mouth and said, The Yu family's young lady has a proud nature. Men seek her, but cannot obtain her. Two knocks sounded on the ward door, and old Lu entered. He carried a brocade box and walked directly to Jiang Yinyan, speaking softly, Young Master Yin, the item has been retrieved. Huang Jifa eyed the brocade box in old Lu's hand. Jewelry? Then he thought of the woman inside. Jiang Yinyan took the brocade box and actually opened it right in front of Huang Jifa. Huang Jifa also had a glimpse. Craning his neck, he saw it was a bracelet. It was a lustrous white and delicate. One look at the jade's quality confirmed it was excellent and very valuable. Jiang Yinyan nodded, closed the lid, and casually placed it beside him. After old Lu left, Huang Jifa said cautiously, Young Master Yin seems to have a deep knowledge of jade objects. Jiang Yinyan's gaze rested on the brocade box, one hand placed on it. You mean this? No deep knowledge, it's just that a young girl around me likes it. Just a gift. That sentence carried a lot of information. A young girl, and around him. Huang Jifa couldn't be more curious. Was he talking about Mora? But instinctively, he felt it wasn't her. After a long pause, Young Master Yin, your wedding with Miss Mora is approaching, isn't it? I wonder if I'll have the honor to attend young Master Yan's wedding then. He was desperately trying to cling to this powerful patron. Jiang Yinyan smiled slightly, then changed the subject when he spoke again. So, regarding the Yu family's young lady, I'll trouble President Huang to give it a try? Oh yes, no problem. Absolutely no problem. Even if Huang Jifa was stupid, he could tell Jiang Yinyan intended to see him off. He quickly stood up and said, Then I won't disturb young Master Yan's rest. Please take good care of yourself. I'll report any progress on my end to you immediately. Just contact old Lu. All right. Wait. Jiang Yinyan lifted his chin, indicating the safe placed next to the sofa by Huang Jifa. Take your things. Huang Jifa had originally intended to pretend to have left the items there. Hearing this, and realizing he couldn't leave the things behind, he felt uneasy and his expression grew awkward. Jiang Yinyan said nonchalantly, Isn't President Huang also helping me out? That's how human relationships work. There's no need to calculate every single transaction so clearly. Huang Jifa nodded repeatedly, forcing a smile. After Huang Jifa left, Jiang Yinyan leaned back on the sofa. The wound on his chest ached faintly, but fortunately, it wasn't too serious. Old Lu entered. Seeing Jiang Yinyan frowning slightly, he quietly asked if he wanted the doctor to check the wound. Jiang Yinyan said there was no need. Old Lu glanced at the brocade box. Are you really giving it away? Miss Mora was quite fond of this. Jiang Yinyan leaned over, took the brocade box, and pulled out the jade bracelet from inside. The jade was indeed good jade. Jade of this material is unobtainable now, so its value has greatly increased. Even rarer was the carving on the head of the bracelet. On closer inspection, it was a jasmine flower, its petals lifelike, as if one could smell the clear fragrance of jasmine just by looking at it. A preference of people from Jiangnan. Just returning it to its rightful owner, Jiang Yinyin said lightly, placing the bracelet back in the brocade box. Yunyin finally slept soundly, without even dreaming. When she opened her eyes, the window outside was dark. Checking the time, it was 7 in the evening. During this time, Jiang Yinyin had behaved like a decent person and hadn't disturbed her sleep. The bedroom door was slightly ajar, the indoor curtains were already drawn, and the dim light came from the moonlight outside the window, as well as the soft yellow light from the living room, spilling onto the carpet. She sat up in bed, momentarily dazed, and only realized she was still in hospital after looking around. Her head no longer hurt at all, but after a good night's sleep, the pain all over her body felt clearer. After a while, she got out of bed, a muffled groan escaping her as her lower abdomen ached. He was too big. The last few times, he had entered her completely, wild as a beast, tormenting her terribly. A warm current seemed to pass through Yunyin's heart. She quickly discarded distracting thoughts. Can't think, absolutely can't think of anything. New clothes were placed on the bedside table. Yunyin glanced at them. They were all her size and fit perfectly. Jiang Yinyin wasn't in the bedroom. She wrapped herself in the quilt and walked to the door, peeking out through the crack. But as soon as she poked her head out, her vision darkened. Her gaze met a man's chest, and looking up, she saw Jiang Yinyin. He stood by the door, pushing the bedroom door open a little more, watching her at his leisure. "What are you looking at?" Yunyin was caught red-handed and felt quite uncomfortable for a moment. She licked her lips, coming up with a lame excuse. "I was looking for clothes." Jiang Yinyin leaned against the door, smiling as he watched her speak against her true feelings. He said, "New ones on the bedside table, didn't you see?" "I want my own." Jiang Yinyin oed, they were all torn. "You want to wear them?" Yunyin's heart fluttered slightly. But Jiang Yinyin knew how to provoke her. He reached out and pulled her into his embrace, quilt and all, lowering his head with a deep chuckle. "You were so seductive in bed." Yunyin felt her breath hitch. I'll go wash up. I'll help you." No. Yunyin was shocked, quickly pushing him away. Jiang Yinyin watched her, amused. "I was just being kind and offering help, afraid you couldn't stand steadily. There's no bathtub inside." He implied something. Yunyin didn't want to give him further opportunity to harass her and promptly closed the bedroom door. Entering the bathroom, only when she looked in the mirror did she realize how disheveled she was. Marks all over her body, some from his scratches, some from his kisses. Yunyin shook her head, driving away those intimate scenes in her mind, locked the bathroom door, and then felt at ease to shower. Taking a shower was no less than another strenuous activity. After getting dressed, Yunyin came out of the bedroom. Jiang Yinyin was looking at documents, the halo of the floor lamp falling on his head, spreading a dazzling circle of light. Seeing her come out, he put the documents aside, not even closing them. Yunyin subconsciously glanced over, vaguely seeing the words bid or tender. Perhaps it was because he was wearing hospital clothes. Jiang Yinyin looked utterly languid, lacking his usual dignified aloofness. He looked at her amusedly and asked, "Why are you dressed so neatly? You'll have to take them off again later." Yunyin's legs went soft upon hearing that. She took a step back. "I don't want it anymore." Jiang Yinyin didn't seem angry, seemingly intent on teasing her. "What? Don't like it?" Yunyin licked her lips, not wanting to engage in that topic. "I need to go back." "Did I say you could leave?" Jiang Yinyin leaned back, lazy. Yunyin's scalp tingled, and she said with difficulty, "Young Master Yin, I'm really very tired." "You slept all afternoon, and you're not rested yet?" Yunyin bit her lip, a little sulky. Young Master Yin is too amazing. Surely this was enough. "Come here." "No." Yunyin resolutely didn't step forward. Jiang Yinyin chuckled softly. "Yunyin, I can have you any time I want. Do you think you can avoid it?" Couldn't avoid it. Recognizing this fact, Yunyin could only step forward little by little. She couldn't go head-to-head. She could only try the soft approach. Jiang Yinyin gripped her wrist and pulled slightly with force, pulling her to sit in his lap. His gaze lingered on her cheek, then fell on her fair neck, where his hickeys still remained. His gaze darkened. Young Master Yin. Yunyin was no stranger to the change in his eyes. Her heart thumped in her chest, her slender, white fingers lightly pressing against his chest. "You." Noticing his glance, she changed her tone. "Your injury isn't healed yet." Jiang Yinyin smiled, burying his handsome face in her neck, nibbling gently, muttering indistinctly. "You haven't not tried it before. Has it affected anything?" Yunyin wanted to cry, but had no tears. He wasn't thinking of doing it again, was he? But soon she knew she could remove the was he. The man was full of vigor again. She could easily feel it. Her lower abdomen ached reflexively, and she could only beg for mercy. I really am in so much pain. Pain. Jiang Yinyan's long fingers reached into her collar, warm fingertips pressing against her soft skin. Don't you know, you're very passionate in bed. He leaned closer to her, his large hand gently clasping her slender waist, thin lips pressing against hers, his voice slightly hoarse. Yunyan, you've captivated me. Young Master Yan, especially when you tremble beneath me. Jiang Yinyan chuckled softly. So what if I can't get enough? Yunyan's whole body tensed up uncontrollably. Jiang Yinyan felt it. See, you're terribly tight. A double entendre. Yunyan's mouth opened slightly, her throat feeling blocked. Jiang Yinyan gazed at her, hiding the deep possessiveness in his eyes when he slightly narrowed them. He said, perhaps 1 year isn't enough. She shivered, looking up at him. In her pupils, the smile at the corner of the man's lips was faint. How about this? Stay by my side, and you can ask for whatever you want. Yunyan was startled. The next second, she tried to get up but couldn't break free from Jiang Yinyan's arm. She said dryly, let's stick to the agreed-upon time. Jiang Yinyan stared at her, his gaze gradually cooling. Yunyan's heart was tightly clenched, a huge sense of unease gradually enveloping her. After a long while, she heard Jiang Yinyan laugh. She unconsciously looked at him, but was startled by his deep gaze and quickly averted her eyes. Jiang Yinyan raised a hand to caress her face, his tone seemingly gentle. Don't want to stay tonight? That was definitely a no. I'm not feeling very well. Accompanying young Master Yan like this, I'm afraid you won't be happy. Are you afraid Yuan Zhou will worry? Jiang Yinyan hit the nail on the head. Yunyan lowered her gaze. He's my younger brother. It's normal for us to care for each other. Jiang Yinyan scoffed, but he did let go of her arm. Yunyan secretly breathed a sigh of relief at this, and quickly stood up. Yunyan, I did help you, didn't I? Is it ungrateful to just leave like this? Jiang Yinyan closed the documents in his hand and put them aside, then stood up. Yunyan's first thought was that he wanted more. Her heart trembled. He had said the same thing this morning. Then what else do you want? Jiang Yinyan walked towards the bedroom. Come in with me. Yunyan felt blood rush straight to her head, desperately wanting to curse. Jiang Yinyan, are you a stud horse? She didn't dare. Jiang Yinyan saw she hadn't followed, turned to look at her, and also noticed the indignation and suppressed anger in her eyes. He pursed his lips, then said, wait until I'm asleep before you leave. So that's it. This was absolutely no problem. Yunyan trotted forward, quickly walked to the bedroom door, and made a pleased gesture. Jiang Yinyan walked slowly forward. Before she could walk ahead, he pulled her, chuckling softly in her ear. Sometimes, I really want to torment you to death. Yunyan shivered again. It was only after Yunyan dragged her weary body home that she discovered two things. First, Jiang Yinyan had replied to Yuan Zhou and Xiaomin in her name, dispelling their suspicions. Second, she found a brocade box in her shoulder bag. Opening it, she was shocked to see it was the very jade bracelet from the escort. Yunyan stared at the jade bracelet for a long time, then suddenly remembered something and grabbed her phone to make a call. But on second thought, she figured Jiang Yinyan was already asleep. After a moment's hesitation, she called Lao Lu. Lao Lu had always been tight-lipped. He only said he had followed an order to deliver the bracelet and knew nothing else. You should ask young Master Yin directly about this. Jiang Yinyan must have put it in her bag. But for what reason? Holding on to this question, Yunyan didn't sleep well all night. She was clearly exhausted and had thought she would pass out the moment her head hit the pillow, but her sleep was incredibly light and plagued by a series of troubled dreams. One moment, it was Jiang Yinyan, the next, it was Jiang Zhe. She even dreamed of Mo La, holding a broken jade bracelet and questioning her. This is what I had my eye on. What right do you have to touch it? Just as she was about to startle awake, she dreamed of Jiang Yinyan again. He said to her, I set the rules of the game between us. You have no choice. Yinyan, don't even think about getting rid of me in this lifetime. She saw metal bars all around her. Looking closer, she realized Jiang Yinyan was outside the bars, and it dawned on her that he had locked her in a cage. Yunyan gasped, and her eyes flew open to find the sky outside already bright. The doorbell and her phone were both ringing. She scrambled out of bed, but her body still felt extremely weak. On her way to the entryway, she answered her phone. It was Xiaomin, asking why she wasn't home. At the same time, there were 2 knocks on the door. Yunyan spoke into the phone. Are you outside the door? Yes. Open up. The heart that had been in Yunyan's throat finally settled. Jiangze had left her with lingering trauma. You're really something else. Something this big happened, and you didn't tell me. Xiaomin arrived with bags big and small, only to be hit by a bombshell from Yunyan that nearly scared her to death. She was filled with a mixture of belated fear and anger. Yunyan curled up on the sofa, hugging a cushion. Sis, this is the first time we've seen each other since it happened. Aren't I telling you right now? Xiaomin supposed that was true, she had forgotten in her haste and anger. No wonder the word in the capital circles is that the Jiang family has grounded Jiang Zhe. Yunyan let out a cold laugh. Xiao Min understood the meaning behind her laugh. Her anger subsided, replaced by the stark reality of the situation. Using that kind of drug to harm a woman and only getting grounded as punishment, Jiang Yinyan really protects his own. Didn't I hear he's on bad terms with his older brother? This incident is leverage. Shouldn't his dislike extend to him too? Xiao Min said resentfully. Yunyan's anger had long since passed, like a swift boat sailing past thousands of mountains. These past 2 nights, Jiang Yinyan had completely drained her body, and in doing so, had also cleared her muddled mind. That drug leaves no trace in the body, so it's impossible to sue Jiang Zhe. More importantly, he didn't succeed. Jiang Yinyan may be a bastard, but he was right about one thing. Forget having no evidence. Even if there was, he wouldn't stand by and watch something happen to Jiang Zhe. It has nothing to do with family affection. He just doesn't want the Jiang family's interests and reputation to be damaged. Yunyan took a deep breath at this point, suppressing the stifling feeling in her chest. Perhaps in the Jiang family's eyes, being grounded is already the most severe punishment for Jiang Zhe. Under the heel of power, human lives are as worthless as grass. Xiaomin thought for a moment. Shouldn't old Madame Jiang know about this? She'd lose face over her grandson doing something like this. Maybe out of guilt towards you, she'd agree to cancel the engagement. Yunyan remained clear-headed, shaking her head. Old Madame Jiang wishes I would get entangled with Jiang Zhe right now. If she found out about this, she'd be angry, but she would definitely want to resolve it internally. It would just give her another reason not to cancel the engagement. Xiaomin's head began to ache as well. Besides, Yunyan hesitated. If this really got out, it would be bad for me too. After all, I've been with Jiang Yinyan for the past 2 nights. Xiaomin sighed heavily. What on earth does that Jiang Yinyan want? Yunyan said nothing. What else could he want? He just saw her as a bedwarmer. Thanks to Jiang Zhe, she had fallen into a trap, and Jiang Yinyan ended up reaping the benefits. It was just jumping from one pit into another. Was she supposed to thank him? I knew it wasn't you when I got your message, Xiao Min said truthfully. I knew I couldn't fool you, Yunyan sighed lightly. But I'm still curious. How did you figure it out? Yunyan, how many years have I known you? Even though it's just text, I can still feel the difference. What's your tone like, and what's Jiang Yinyan's tone like? They're definitely not the same. Yunyan jolted at her words. If even you could tell, then Ajo. You're overestimating him, Xiao Min said, peeling an apple slice by slice. He's a man. How could he be that perceptive? Besides, he's been so busy these past 2 days he can't even see straight, right? He definitely wouldn't have thought that far. Yunyan nodded. That was true. Given you Zhuanzhou's temperament, he would have lost his cool if he had really noticed something was off. In that case, it would have been Ajo storming her home today. I came today because I was worried about you. I never expected something this major had happened, Xiao Min said, her face full of concern. Hey, she looked up at Yunyan and asked, did you use protection? Yunyan's expression turned a little unnatural. What's there to be embarrassed about with me? No matter what, you have to protect yourself. You are the most important thing. Everything else is fleeting. Xiao Min handed her the peeled apple. I know. Don't worry. Yunyan took the apple, her heart heavy. Your relationship with Jiang Yinyan is too dangerous. Regardless of his motives, everything he's doing to you before you've completely cut ties with the Jiang family is harming you. Xiao Min felt a tightness in her chest just mentioning Jiang Yinyan. Even if you have nothing to do with the Jiang family in the future, getting too close to him will still lead to gossip. Wasn't Yunyan perfectly aware of this? After meeting Jiang Yinyan, she had made one wrong step after another, watching helplessly as she walked into an abyss. I can't even bear to hear the word future right now, Yunyan said, chewing the apple without tasting it. Why is that? Yunyan looked at Xiao Min, her expression grave. He suddenly said today that he wants me to stay by his side. I was scared to death. Xiao Min was stunned. He wants to break the agreement? Yunyan shook her head. I don't know. The topic got changed by other things later on. A bite of apple was stuck in her throat, unable to be swallowed or spit out. Her heart grew anxious again just thinking about it. Min, I'm so worried. I hope it was just a spur-of-the-moment idea and that he didn't really mean it. Xiao Min mulled it over for a long time before saying, actually, regardless of whether he meant what he said, the fact is he's really into you right now. A tremor ran through Yunyan. She suddenly recalled Jiang Yinyan whispering in her ear before, I'm fascinated by you. For a moment, her breathing quickened. She placed the apple on the coffee table and said softly, 1 year. After 1 year, we'll go our separate ways. That's all I can think about. Yunyan looked up at Xiao Min. I can't truly anger him right now. Otherwise, it won't just be me who suffers. The entire Yu family will be in trouble. What are you planning to do? Xiao Min asked. Yunyan pressed her lips together, then spoke with great difficulty after a moment. Let him take whatever he wants. Xiao Min's eyes froze. Jiang Yinyan is used to absolute control. His status as the capital's crown prince these past few years, though he's kept a low profile, has surely surrounded him with sycophants. So he can't tolerate anyone saying no to him. Yinyan analyzed coolly. It's like with tigers and wolves in the jungle. They lose interest if their prey is too obedient and docile. Instead, they relentlessly chase the ones that try desperately to escape. Jiang Yinyan is that kind of person. As long as I'm obedient and act meekly around him, he'll definitely get tired of me over time. Why do you make that 1-year agreement in the first place? The reason was simple: retaliation. So what he wanted to see most was for her to completely shed her pride, to have her dignity trampled under his foot. If that's what he wanted, then she'll give it to him. Let him completely lose interest in a hunt. Let him feel that what he's obtained is dull and tasteless. Xiao Min had no better ideas. She wasn't part of the capital circles, and even if she knew some people with connections, they certainly wouldn't dare to offend young Master Yan. For a moment, the room fell silent. Yun Yin, the one at the center of it all, had walked into a dead end, and Xiao Min, as a bystander, felt just as trapped. A phone rang, shattering the silence. Yun Yin glanced at her phone and placed it on the coffee table. The screen lit up, and even Xiao Min could see the name. Jiang Yinyan. She immediately remembered the jade bracelet. Sure enough, after she answered, Jiang Yinyan asked, "You were looking for me?" Yun Yin hummed an affirmation and asked directly about the jade bracelet. Jiang Yinyan laughed. "All for something like this. That bracelet may not be one of a kind, but it's still quite valuable," Yun Yin said. Jiang Yinyan was silent for a moment on the other end, then said, "I don't think I've ever given you a gift. So do you like this one?" Yun Yin found it strange. After a thought, she said, "This gift is too expensive." "It's nothing," Jiang Yinyan said lightly. "After all, I've kept you." After the call ended, Yun Yin's fingers were trembling. She didn't know if it was from anxiety or anger. The anxiety was because this bracelet was incredibly important to her. The anger was because Jiang Yinyan's words were infuriating. Xiao Min held the brocade box, staring at the jade bracelet inside for a long time. It finally clicked, and she asked, "This is the one you asked me to inquire about?" Yun Yin nodded. Xiao Min took it out of the box to examine it, marveling, the quality of this jade is really something else. Where could you find jade this lustrous nowadays? In your hand, it was as eye-catching as mutton fat jade. The carving of the jasmine flower is superb, Xiao Min praised. The Yu family's master craftsman? Yun Yin nodded. Xiao Min clicked her tongue twice. Forget the jade itself. This jasmine flower alone is worth a fortune. Yun Yin's expression was grave. I already had the money ready to buy the bracelet. So, isn't this a case of getting it without any effort? Xiao Min said dismissively. But Yun Yin shook her head. Min, it's not like that. Xiao Min didn't understand her, a flicker of doubt in her eyes as she placed the bracelet back in the brocade box. Previously, Yun Yin hadn't explained the matter of the bracelet to Xiao Min due to a lack of time. Now that she had a moment, she told Xiao Min about her and Yu Zhuanzhou's plan in detail. Xiao Min was a smart woman. After hearing everything, she had a sudden realization and understood what Yun Yin had meant by, "It's not like that." "It is too much of a coincidence," Xiao Min agreed. After a long pause, Xiao Min spoke again. "Could it be a pang of conscience? Maybe he knew you wanted to use the jade bracelet as a favor, so he just gave it to you?" To Jiang Yinyan, "It's just a bracelet, nothing special." No, Yun Yin didn't think so. First, only Zhou and I knew about my plan to use the bracelet as a favor. Even you only found out today. How would Jiang Yinyan know what I was thinking? Second, don't forget why Jiang Yinyan bought the bracelet in the first place. It was for... Xiao Min recalled what she had found out earlier. That's right. Miss Mo La had set her sights on it first, and Jiang Yinyan sent someone to retrieve the bracelet afterward. Wasn't it obvious he planned to present it to her as a gift? So why give it to Yun Yin? Just as a gift? Then how would he explain it to Miss Mo La? In any case, the bracelet is in your hands now. Jiang Yinyan made it very clear that it's a gift for you. Why worry about his motives? Xiao Min's head ached from thinking about it, so she decided to stop. Instead of trying to figure him out, you should just take the bracelet and get your business done. Yun Yin looked at the bracelet in the brocade box and said softly, "I'm just afraid that the moment I give the bracelet away, Jiang Yinyan will ask for it back." Xiao Min stared at her in astonishment. "What is it?" Yun Yin felt uncomfortable under her gaze. Xiao Min didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "After all this, that's what you're worried about. What else?" Xiao Min was speechless. "Didn't he just say on the phone that the bracelet is a gift for you?" Yun Yin nodded. "Do you ask for gifts back after you've given them to someone?" "Of course not. Then why would you think Jiang Yinyan would ask for it back? Once you give something to someone, it's theirs." Yun Yin sighed. "But isn't this the thing Mo La wanted? What if one day Jiang Nianyan goes back on his word to win a smile from a beauty? Then you don't give it back. It's yours now. You have the right to do what you want with it, don't you? Xiaomin was really exasperated by her train of thought, but she could also see that Yunyin valued the bracelet so much that she was plagued by fears of losing it. Besides, I think even though Jiang Yinyin can be a real bastard sometimes, as a man, he still has his pride, right? What kind of man asks for a gift back from a woman? Yunyin thought it over and agreed. At the very least, Jiang Yinyin had his pride. Once she thought it through, she couldn't be bothered to think about whether Jiang Yinyin's gift of the bracelet was a coincidence or not. In any case, the result was that she had the bracelet, and that was enough. Si Tinji called again with an invitation, and Yunyin once again politely declined. Just as Yunyin was preparing for how to approach Mrs. Huang, Huang Jifa unexpectedly contacted her himself. His attitude was a world away from what Yuan Zhou had described before. He addressed her respectfully as Miss Yu, and used the call to request a meeting. Yunyin was perplexed. The man's change in attitude was too drastic. So she asked, "Is this about the factory building? If so, you should probably contact Zhou." Yunyin felt that recent events were heading in an eerie direction. She had thought of leveraging the bracelet to gain Mrs. Huang's favor, and then the bracelet appeared. Huang Jifa, who had made things difficult for Zhou at a dinner table just days ago, was now calling her, respectfully inviting her to dinner. Although it was a rare opportunity, Yunyin had a strong feeling that Huang Jifa's intentions were not as simple as they seemed. She heard Huang Jifa chuckle. "The factory building is a minor matter. I wonder if Miss Yu would do me the honor? I'd like to discuss something with you, which, of course, also includes the factory building." See? Her premonition was correct. The factory building was just a side issue. Huang Jifa refused to discuss the specifics over the phone, insisting on meeting in person. Yunyin considered it for a moment and agreed. Huang Jifa had booked a table at a hard-to-reserve restaurant in Beishur, specializing in imperial cuisine. It wasn't difficult to book because it had many customers. On the contrary, the restaurant only hosted 5 tables of guests each evening. The restaurant was located in a traditional quadrangle courtyard, hidden deep within a hatong, its gate concealed behind lush old locust trees. Regardless of the restaurant's age, the ancient locust tree outside its door had been there for centuries. The courtyard had been converted from a prince's mansion, so one could imagine the exquisite setting. Each of the 5 private rooms had its own small courtyard, scattered in the corners of the main courtyard, offering beautiful views while ensuring privacy. Therefore, securing a table here was no easy feat. As for the food, it went without saying. The chefs were masters of imperial palace dishes, using the most authentic recipes passed down through generations. So, for Huang Jifa to book here, he was either a regular customer or had connections. Yunyin and Yuan Zhou arrived together. Yunyin had considered everything thoroughly. While she was good at strategizing behind the scenes, her experience in current project operations was lacking. Specific situations required Yuan Zhou's presence. Huang Jifa hadn't expected Yuan Zhou to come, and his expression froze for a moment. Noticing his reaction, Yuan Zhou and Yunyin subtly exchanged glances. Their earlier judgment was correct. Huang Jifa was not here for the factory building at all. But despite his momentary surprise, Huang Jifa quickly recovered and became incredibly enthusiastic, rising to greet them and invite them to sit. It made Yunyin marvel. This man had a talent for Sichuan opera's face-changing. Once seated, Huang Jifa actively poured tea, chuckling, "I didn't expect Mr. Yu to join us today. How about a drink, brothers?" Yuan Zhou smiled. "Let's skip the drinking. Mr. Huang knows I'm not much of a drinker." A flicker of awkwardness crossed Huang Jifa's face when he heard this. He quickly said, my fault last time. Young brother Yu, please don't take it to heart. Seeing you, young brother Yu, reminded me of old Mr. Yu, so my emotions got the better of me, and I drank too much." He had switched from Mr. Yu to young brother Yu. "Understood," Yuan Zhou said with an unruffled smile, taking a sip of tea. He put down his teacup and continued. "Mr. Huang, I presume your invitation today is primarily about the factory collaboration. My sister isn't familiar with company operations, so I'll be the one to discuss this with you, Mr. Huang." Huang Jifa uttered a surprised then quickly added, Right, the factory matter certainly needs to be discussed with young brother Yu." Perhaps he hadn't expected Yuan Zhou's preemptive strike, and Huang Jifa was clearly caught off guard. However, being a seasoned veteran, he wouldn't be so easily manipulated by a junior. He quickly called the restaurant manager to serve the dishes, announcing that everyone had arrived. During this interlude, Huang Jifa also adjusted his pace. "It's like this, I sincerely invited our young lady here today, first and foremost, for the factory collaboration. Secondly, I also want to shamelessly ask you for a small favor." He used a very familiar term for Yunyin, trying to be cordial. Yunyin feigned naive innocence, acting surprised. "Me? Help Mr. Huang. It won't take much effort, don't worry. It's just to show your face and say a few good words. Huang Jifa quickly clarified, trying to preempt any refusal. Yunyan smiled. Mr. Huang, you flatter me. I'm good at eating, drinking, and having fun, but helping? Where'd I get such resources? The resources are already there. Huang Jifa quickly said. Miss, you knows this person. I'm just asking you to make an appearance and act as an intermediary. Yunyan was taken aback. Yu Wanzhou asked who the person was. Huang Jifa mentioned a name, then cautiously asked, I heard she was Miss Yu's classmate. Yunyan remembered the person. After thinking for a moment, she said, she was a classmate, true, but we haven't been in touch for many years. Our relationship isn't particularly close. Though Yu Wanzhou wasn't her classmate, he was somewhat aware of the person's background. He looked at Huang Jifa suspiciously. This person does have some power. What are you trying to do, Mr. Huang? Huang Jifa chuckled. There's a project that stuck with him. I heard our young lady was classmates with that person, so I boldly asked for your help. Yunyan smiled. Mr. Huang, I can't help with this. As I just said, I haven't contacted her in years. She might not even remember me. Moreover, whether a project gets approved depends on connections, but ultimately, it also depends on the project itself. What she said was the truth, but to Huang Jifa, it sounded like a clear excuse. He thought, good thing young Master Yin had given me a heads up. She really isn't easy to talk to. Oh, Miss Yu, in today's society, it's all about personal connections. The project itself is definitely fine. But think about it, with so many projects handled by them every day, how can they all be approved promptly? Every day, it's delayed, means an extra day of cost. How can we business people afford such delays? Huang Jifa earnestly persuaded. Yunyan was curious and asked Huang Jifa what project it was. Huang Jifa whispered the details. Yunyan wasn't familiar with the project he mentioned, but Yu Wanzhou was. This isn't your project, Mr. Huang, is it? This was why Huang Jifa hadn't wanted Yu Wanzhou to come. Yu Wanzhou was certainly familiar with all the major and minor market dealings, unlike Yunyan, who could be easily fooled. He appeared hesitant. Yu Wanzhou smiled. Mr. Huang, if this were your project, then out of mutual cooperation, we would be willing to pull some strings. But it's not your project, and it involves official approval. Such a favor could have big or small implications. More importantly, the other party might not be willing to grant the favor. Although it's not my project, it's as good as my own. Huang Jifa, seeing that Yu Wanzhou was even harder to deal with, became anxious. In fact, it's even more important than my own. Yu Wanzhou slowly sipped his tea, saying nothing. Yunyan heard this and asked Huang Jifa, whose project is so important? Huang Jifa's expression became unnatural at the question. Seeing Yunyan still waiting, he thought for a long time, then leaned forward and lowered his voice. Whose project it is isn't important. What's important is that if we can get this done, it will definitely benefit us. Yu Wanzhou smiled. Mr. Huang, you're being overly cautious. Yunyan pretended to be clueless and asked Huang Jifa. Then how did Mr. Huang know that I was classmates with that person? Although she asked this, Yunyan had a vague premonition in her heart. Huang Jifa hesitated and didn't want to tell her, because he had heard from Jiang Yinyan that the Yu family and the Jiang family were not on good terms. He was afraid that if he brought up young Master Yan's name, there would be no room for negotiation with Yunyan. But his hesitation confirmed Yunyan's guess. Yu Wanzhou hit the nail on the head. Is it Jiang Yinyan's project? Huang Jifa hadn't expected him to be so direct. He froze for a moment, then gave an awkward laugh. Oh, young brother Yu, why are you digging so deep into whose project it is? Anyway, no matter whose project it is, it's quite important to me. Look, aren't our two families about to cooperate? There's a saying, we prosper together, we suffer together. If I develop well, it'll be good for us in the future too. To put it bluntly, we're grasshoppers on the same rope, a mutual benefit, isn't it? Yunyan and Yu Wanzhou exchanged glances, knowing in their hearts that they had guessed correctly. She didn't respond to his words, instead pondering Jiang Yinyan's true intention for doing this. Would Jiang Yinyan's project really need to go through Huang Jifa to find an intermediary? She inadvertently thought of the document in Jiang Yinyan's hand in the hospital room, with the word bidding written on it. Was it related to the project Huang Jifa was talking about? But whether it was the same project or not, someone of Jiang Yinyan's caliber and the projects he handled wouldn't normally involve Huang Jifa. It was like a world of difference between them. With Huang Jifa's current financial power, he couldn't handle the Jiang family's business. Now she could understand Huang Jifa's eagerness. He must have been deluding himself into thinking he could get a share of the Jiang family's pie. In fact, Jiang Yinyan not only let Huang Jifa know about the project, but also had Huang Jifa approach her, in the posture of someone seeking a favor. What was the real purpose? As Yunyan thought this, a bold guess formed deep in her heart. Perhaps it was too bold, so Yunyan didn't dare to verify it immediately. What she could think of, Yu Wanzhou could naturally also think of. So, Yuan Zhou placed his teacup on the table, and his expression turned frosty. Huang Jifa's heart sank when he saw his face. Mr. Huang, Yu Zhuanzhou's voice was also quite cold. Business is business, but the Yu family hasn't cooperated with the Huang family yet, have they? So where does this grasshoppers on the same row come from? In the business world, every major project has its movements. Mr. Huang is clearly working for the Jiang family, yet he's not being fully truthful, which doesn't speak well for your integrity. He stood up. I'm sorry, but we have other engagements. We appreciate your dinner invitation, Mr. Huang. Seeing this, Yunyan also stood up. Huang Jifa panicked, seeing them about to leave. He quickly stood up to block them. Don't go. You've already come all this way. You must at least have dinner before you leave. It's not that I wanted to hide anything from you. I was just worried you'd be wary of the Jiang family and wouldn't want to help. Let me tell you, if this project succeeds, we all can. We indeed do not wish to help. Yuan Zhou directly interrupted Huang Jifa. Huang Jifa felt as if he had swallowed a bitter herb. His heart was bitter, astringent, and anxious. In his haste, he became somewhat impolite. Don't forget you're still begging me for cooperation. Yuan Zhou looked at him with amusement. Mr. Huang, you're the one begging us now. As for the factory, there are so many suppliers in the world. We don't lack one Mr. Huang, do we? After saying that, he turned to Yunyan, smiling slightly. Let's go. Yunyan nodded and left with Yuan Zhou. Huang Jifa stood stunned in the private room for a long while before reacting. By the time he chased them out, they were long gone. He stomped his foot in frustration. What a mess. After Yuan Zhou and Yunyan returned to the car, Yuan Zhou scoffed. Is Jiang Yinyan trying to sell us a favor? Why is he so kind as to interfere in the Yu family's factory purchase? Yunyan was silent for a while. That's the only possibility I can think of. So, I don't know why he's doing it, or what his underlying motive is. Jiang Yinyan wouldn't possibly involve Huang Jifa, and with his connections and power, getting an approval would be effortless. He wouldn't need to borrow someone else's hand. If he let Huang Jifa approach them, it was highly likely he wanted Huang Jifa to be in a passive position, making negotiations between the Yu and Huang families easier. It was precisely this point that Yu Wanzhou realized at the dinner table, leading to his dramatic exit. Yu Zhuanzhou's anger was half genuine, half feigned. Escalating the situation to put Huang Jifa at a complete disadvantage was Yu Zhuanzhou's objective, but his displeasure with Jiang Yinyan was also heartfelt. He turned to look at Yunyan, a momentary hesitation in his eyes. How could Yunyan not understand his gaze? She sighed helplessly. I didn't ask him. She added, even if I did, why would he agree? Yuan Zhou sighed softly and gently took her hand. Yunyan was amused by his demeanor. What's wrong? You don't let me ask too many questions about your affairs, but truthfully, I don't want you to have any more entanglements with Jiang Yinyan, Yuan Zhou said softly. Yunyan's heart felt heavy. After a long moment, she said, don't worry, I'll handle my relationship with him. Once the factory matter is settled, Yuan Zhou suddenly said. Yunyan looked up at him. The light in his eyes was soft as he gently said, once the factory is finalized, we'll leave Beishur. Yunyan was taken aback. What about the other projects in Beishur? Yuan Zhou smiled. Transportation is so developed now, I can just travel back and forth. Since our focus needs to return to Jiangnan, it's better to go back early. Yunyan didn't know what to say for a moment. You don't want? Yuan Zhou stared at her. Of course I do, Yunyan said softly. I'm just afraid it won't be that smooth. Yuan Zhou pondered. Are you referring to Jiangze? Yunyan thought deeply, then nodded after a while. But in fact, she wasn't referring to Jiangze. She had a 1-year agreement with Jiang Yinyan. Unless Jiang Yinyan grew tired of her first, would he let her leave? Yuan Zhou said. Old Mrs. Zhang's state of neither agreeing nor disagreeing cannot continue. If necessary, I'll visit the Jiang family and have a serious talk with her. Going to the Jiang family might mean seeing Jiangze, and if Jiangze became desperate and said something, it would be troublesome. The more Yunyan thought about it, the more troubled she felt. She sighed, let's first sort out the factory matter. Also, Si Tinji hasn't given up on his idea yet. I'm systematically tackling the people in Jiang Cheng's team to ensure no leverage can be held against us, Yuan Zhou said. Yunyan nodded, feeling a bit powerless at the same time. Huang Jifa cautiously dialed old Lu's mobile phone, then anxiously waited for over a minute before Jiang Yinyan answered the call. Huang Jifa immediately apologized profusely to Jiang Yinyan, explaining the situation that had just transpired and desperately adding, I truly had no idea Yuan Zhou would come. Huang Jifa on the other end of the phone was stunned for a long while before letting out a huh. Then, with a forced smile, he said, Young Master Yin, aren't the Yu family and I still yet to reach a cooperation agreement? Jiang Yinyan's tone sounded a little surprised. Didn't we decide to cooperate? Yes, there's an intention, but the specific details haven't been pushed forward yet, Huang Jifa said. Jiang Yinyan chuckled lightly, his tone completely dismissive. Since cooperation is a certainty, the sooner the better. General Manager Huang's purpose is to make money. If General Manager Huang can't seize an opportunity delivered right to his doorstep, that money will be earned by someone else. The reason Huang Jifa had been in a daze for a while before remembering to call Jiang Yinyan was because of Yuanzhou. The words Yuanzhou said before leaving made Huang Jifa hesitate. He had been emboldened in front of Yuanzhou because he was certain the Yu family had no better alternative. Now, hearing Jiang Yinyan say this, he felt even more uncertain. After thinking for a moment, he said, "The main thing is Yuanzhou is too difficult to handle." What he said just now was too absolute. General Manager Huang. Jiang Yinyan's tone remained calm and light. If you want others to help you, you must first show sincerity. No matter how aloof Yuanzhou's temperament, he's still a businessman, talking business. If you're sincere, he naturally wouldn't find it easy to reject you, would he? Right. Huang Jifa wiped a bead of sweat from his forehead. Although Yunyan is the eldest daughter of the Yu family, many of her decisions still depend on Yuanzhou. So, General Manager Huang, Yuanzhou is the key target to win over, Jiang Yinyan said with a smile. I've pointed the way for you. Whether you can proceed smoothly depends on you, General Manager Huang. Excellent. Young Master Yan's words are worth 10 years of study. Huang Jifa flattered him. After the call ended, Huang Jifa only realized after a long while, wait, that's not right. The reason he sought Yinyan was also to help Jiang Yinyan. So how did it turn into his failure to handle things properly? If offering help required sincerity, but Jiang Yinyan hadn't promised him anything. Oh, Huang Jifa was worried. He suddenly realized that taking on this matter was a mistake, and he was now caught in an inescapable dilemma. If he quit and walked away, he wouldn't even get a sniff of the project. And if he didn't do it now, he would absolutely offend Jiang Yinyan. Not only did he have to do it, but he also had to succeed. He had to persuade Yunyan to step forward and help. To achieve this, he would need to finalize the factory cooperation with the Yu family. Huang Jifa sighed. No destruction, no construction. Moreover, he sneered, once he was involved in young Master Yan's project, he could find any excuse to break off cooperation with the Yu family. He needed to get this off his chest. You're back so soon? Jiang Yinyan closed the file, looking up at Yunyan, deliberately teasing. Didn't get enough? After leaving the restaurant, Yuanzhou rushed off nonstop to meet Jiang Cheng to continue discussing the team members' issues. Yunyan, on the other hand, went straight to the hospital to see Jiang Yinyan. The hospital security guards all recognized Yunyan and let her in without stopping her. Jiang Yinyan wasn't resting in bed. He was sitting on the sofa with a thick stack of documents beside him. He showed no surprise when she arrived. Yunyan ignored his comment and asked him directly what he meant. Jiang Yinyan raised an eyebrow. What? You know what I'm talking about. Yunyan looked at him. Jiang Yinyan chuckled lightly, no longer prolonging the back and forth. Huang Jifa looked for you. You should be very clear. Jiang Yinyan hummed in acknowledgement and leaned back. He's quite enthusiastic, and I didn't have the heart to dampen his enthusiasm. This isn't like something you would do. After all, other people's gratitude isn't important to you anyway, Yinyan said. Jiang Yinyan chuckled softly, leaning back. If you want to thank me, I'll accept all of it. Yunyan pressed her lips together, thinking of all the various things he had done before. She couldn't bring herself to say thank you.